Before the class break, we were still doing Surah Al-Baqarah, and we have done up to verse number 4. So just to quickly go over what we have learned so far, let's talk about that for a second. So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alif Lam Mim. We know these are haruf muqattat. We don't know the meaning of them. Zalikal kitabu la rayba fi hudal lil muttaqin. So keep these verses in mind when we do verse number 5 today. So that is the book, no doubt in it, a guidance, hudan lil muttaqin, for the God conscious. Then who are these? What are the qualities of these God conscious people? Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghaibi wa yuqimuna as-salata wa mimma razaqnahum yunfikun. Those who believe in the unseen and establish their prayer, or the prayer, وَمِمَّا, and out of what we have provided them, they spend. So we have gone in detail about al-lazina, which is a pretty interesting concept in Arabic language. It's called ism mawsul, and it has a sila, and I've gone extensively over the sila, that how it can be a sentence, it can be a shibu jumla, and then the whole ism mawsul and sila can play a different roles in the sentence. They could be fa'il, they could be maf'ul, they could be jumla fi'liya, they could be jumla ismiya, they could be mudaf, mudaf ilayh. Does anybody remember that lecture we did before the break? Nobody remembers. Okay, no worries. Okay, so what else did we learn? That these muttaqeens are also the people who have these further qualities. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ. And these are the people who believe in what we send down to you mean Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and wama unzila min qablik, and to what was sent down from before you, meaning all the books or wahi, min qablika, from before you, and in the akhirah, in the hereafter, they believe. Mhm. So today we gonna get to the punchline that, okay, so what are these people with these qualities? What is the status of them? The status is ulaika ala hudam min rabbihim. Those people, the one we have talked about in the above verses, are on guidance from their Lord. You understand? So if we qualify ourselves in this group of people, then we are the one, or those are the people who are on the true guidance from the Lord. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And no doubt that those people are the successful ones. So the end result of all these 4 verses, that eventually we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself is telling us that these are the people who are on the guidance from me, and they are the true successful ones. Is everybody clear on that?
Yep.
Okay, so now the fun part. So right now I'm going to write down, switch over to my camera. Can you guys see the camera? Now, nice and clear?
Yes.
Yes, clear.
All right. So the very first word we have is
Ulaika.
ula, that's a waw. And then ula, and there's alif with the shad mad here, that is in ulaika. Ala, udan, mir,
Rabbi.
rabbi, him. Okay. Rabbi is the shadda here, and there is a shadda here, and there is a kasra and kasra here. Actually, there's nothing here. So ulaika ala hudam mir rabbihim. Do we have any problem understanding the translation of this? Anybody has any issues with the translation here? Okay. So first, what do we do when we are trying to understand the verse? First of all, let's identify the nouns. So who can identify ulaika?
Isme ishara.
Ism.
Isme ishara, very good. So it's a ism, and to be very specific, it's isme ishara.
Ishara.
Okay, very good. What about Allah? Is it an ism?
Jar.
Harf.
Jar.
Okay, what about hudan?
Majroor.
It is a hudan. It will still be ism, right?
Ism. Yeah.
And then min.
Harf.
Harf.
What about rabbihim? Idafa, yes. But it is Rab is ism and him is ism, right? Pronoun. So we can put it in the category of ism for now, or we know that it is mudaf mudaf ilayh. Who can tell me why is it mudaf mudaf ilayh? What is the translation of rabbihim?
Showing the possession.
The possession. So what is the translation of rabbihim?
From their.
Their Rab.
From the.
Very good. So when you see that, that is mudaf mudaf ilayh, and I'm just calling it ism for from the Rabb. And if we separate the him, then him is a pronoun. Okay. So ulaika, let's look at this word for a second. Ulaika. Brother Kabir, what kind of ishara is this? How many kind of isharas we have?
It's a jama. We have
Okay,
za.
so you're right. It is plural.
Plural. Yeah.
That's good.
It's
But is it, what kind of ishara is this? Because there are two
it's
kind
near.
of near.
Near one.
Okay, what is the near ishara for singular?
Zalika.
Haza, right?
Haza.
Yeah. Haza.
So what is the plural of haza?
Haulai.
Haulai.
What is the second ishara? The far one.
Zalika.
Zalika.
Right? So zalika mean that
That.
or those, right? Because the ishara of far. So it is plural, that's right. And it's a far one. Okay. Is it both for male and female?
It's muzakkar.
It can be
Male.
used for both male and female. Right? Because haulai is for both male and female. Ulaika is both for male and female. Correct? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And there is one more definition, somebody can give it to me. From the flexibility perspective, what is ulaika falls into what category?
Mabni. Mabni.
Mabni. Okay. Okay. Who can tell me what mabni is?
Unchangeable.
Non-flexible.
Non-flexible, unchangeable. So what does that mean, Brother Javed?
Sorry?
Hmm?
That means you cannot change the haraka on it.
So,
Nasab jar is the same.
so all the three statuses,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nasab jar.
it is like a-
all the three statuses will stay unchanged.
Same.
So based on the context, you will consider it rafa or nasab or jar. That is what mabni means, right? Now another thing I want to talk about. So that's good so far. Does everybody understand this part?
Yes.
Any questions on this? Any questions on this, guys? Like what ulaika is? Sister Zahra?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So there is another thing. We have this ka here is mean you, right?
Mm.
You all. We can easily, if this is alay ka, to you all, right?
Ka is just you or you all. I think kum is you all.
Okay, so you, let's say. So that means if I write ilayka, does it look very similar to ulaika?
Similar.
Yes.
Very similar. So here, if you don't pay attention, you're basically not pronouncing the wow. You're not saying ulaika. You're not saying ulaika. You're not pronouncing the wow. Not saying it. Do you see that? You're saying ulaika. What are you saying? Can somebody
Laika.
ulaika? You're not, because if you have to attach the wow with it, you're going to say ulaika, because u has its own little bit longer sound, right? Similarly, ilaika is another word which looks very similar to this. So in order to make a distinction between that, this additional wow is added. You get that?
Mm.
Now this is like a small point, but most of you, if you don't pay attention to that, you would not understand this, that why there is an extra wow here. Yeah. Now similarly, sometime in the Quran we have the word uli, and then there is a little wow there. Yeah. So if I write something like this, ila, does it sound that if the wow is not there, can it look like the same one here? So the haraka could be something else
Yeah.
if I write it without the haraka. So it can be uli and it's ala. So in order to distinguish between the uli and the ila, you have to put an extra wow there, but it's not pronounced. It's hidden. Does everybody see that point?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now the next thing is, the next word is ala hudan, right? What is ala?
Yeah.
Is preposition like the harf jar. So what is hudan then?
Majroor.
Majroor. Got it?
Majroor.
Majroor. Okay, good. So we understand ulaika is isme ishara. We learned few things about ulaika. It is plural. It is both for male and female. It is for the far and it's mabni. So we need to understand whether it is rafa here or nasab here or jar here. Okay, we'll come to that. We're still trying to understand what's alal hudan mean. Ala hudan mean it is jar majroor. So far so good.
Yes.
Okay. Now the next thing is mir rabbihim. Do you see why it's mir rabbihim? Because of the tajweed, that whenever we have a qaida like this, we have to put the R with the shadda or the ra, and then the noon is not pronounced, and we say mir rabbihim. So let's look at the word rabbuhum first, because the real word was rabbuhum. Do you agree with me that the word is rabbuhum?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many people can see the actual word was rabbuhum? Rabbuhum mean
His Lord. Their Lord.
their Lord. Yes. It was rabbuhum. But what happened when you put min in front of it? What is min? Harf jar, right?
Yes.
So what
Then
is he
it
going to
become
do?
majroor.
When you have a harf jar, what happens to the next word?
Haraka
Become
becomes kasra.
You become rabbi,
Rabbi. Yeah.
right? And then there is after that is whom. It was what? Whom.
Whom.
But what is the rule we learned? That if there is a kasra before the whom, then it becomes
Kasra.
him. So this becomes
Him.
majroor. But also, it also has this. Okay, let me try to explain to you why Rabbuhum is different. So, Rabb plus whom. You see that now? That Rabbuhum here, Rabbuhum. Is it mudaf plus mudaf ilay? Do you guys see that? Okay, what is mudaf ilay? When you relate one thing to another thing, one noun with the other noun, then it becomes mudaf ilay, meaning their Lord, Lord of them. When you have the of in between, then the first word, which is Rabb, is mudaf, and whom? Who are we relating the Rabb to? Them. So then whom is the mudaf ilay. Okay? So when you go mir or min, then this Rabb will become Rabbi. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. And this home, which was like this, because of this rule that if there is a kasra before the home, then it becomes him. Got it? So here, if I take this out for a second, then I can just go down a little bit like this. And I say, this is jar. But before the majroor, this is mudaf plus mudaf ilay. Agree?
Yeah.
Now this whole thing will become
Majroor.
majroor. That is why I was trying to spend this extra time to show you this. Now, how many people understand this concept now? Guys, you are extremely quiet today. It's very hard to work like this. Come on, I know we just came back from the vacation, but we can speak a little bit. Mashallah, there are like 13 people and I so quiet. You want Sister Noor to do all the work and then next time she's not gonna come.
I'm enjoying, alhamdulillah.
Okay. Sister Fazilat, you there?
Yes, I'm here, brother, but I have lots of background noises, so that's why.
But just
Yeah, but I understand the concept.
Brother Fawad,
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
you see that? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mudaf ilay. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. So this was important for me to make you understand that why it was Rabbuhum, but when there was a min, then it becomes Rabbihim.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So now let's do the, I would have to write it down again because I did too much work on that page. So I have to write down again. So Ulaika ala so far so good? Okay. Now, Brother Kabir, tell me, when we are doing the analysis, what is our end goal? What are we trying to find out?
And goal.
Yeah, what are we trying to find out from the verse?
To understand the meaning plus the relationship between the words.
Yes, that's good. But by the time we take all the small pieces and join them, what do we get at the end of that exercise?
جملة فعلية أو اسمية.
Jumla fi'liya or ismiya. Very good job. So at the end of the day, we are looking for a jumla. Yes. So here we have only two kind of jumla, ismiya or fi'liya. Yeah. So now we have analyzed this separately. we are trying to find out what kind of jumla we can get out of this. What is
It's a
it
jumla
starting with?
ismiya. Ismiya.
Jumla
Ism. Yeah.
Okay. So what is the characteristics of a jumla ismiya? Can you help me? What should I find out?
Is
Ism. A file.
Well, if it's jumla ismiya, there is no file, because file comes when we are dealing with the verbal sentence, not with the nominal.
noun.
What are the
مبتدا
two
خبر.
parts? Mubtada and
مبتدا
khabar.
خبر.
Because jumla ismiya, how many parts of jumla ismiya?
مبتدا and خبر.
Okay. So do you know the rules for mubtada and khabar? Do you guys remember the rules for mubtada and khabar? Brother Altaf, you can jump in anytime. What are the 4 properties of ism?
Jins adat, capacity and status.
Okay. So capacity, and
Gender,
then
status,
status,
yeah,
Number.
gender, and number,
numbers.
right? So based on this, what is the capacity of mubtada supposed to be?
Nakira,
معرفة. معرفة.
Marifa,
Right? And the khabar is supposed to be
Nakira,
Nakra.
nakira. And what is the status supposed to be?
رفع.
Rafa,
Rafa.
And the khabar is?
Rafa.
Rafa.
For the gender and number,
They will
they
fall
can
in
be?
each other.
Should be match.
Okay. So in this verse, who can be a good candidate for mubtada?
أولئك.
Ulaik.
Ulaika. Okay. And why do you say that?
اسم.
Marifa.
Sister Noor, what did you say?
Because it's Marifa.
Because it's marifa. And why is it a marifa?
attached pronoun.
اسم إشارة.
Ishara, it's
Because this is isme ishara. Jazakallah khair, brother Fawad and sister Noor. Because isme ishara, and isme ishara falls in what category of capacity?
مبني.
Marifa.
Rafa.
Marifa. Because remember, when we were learning the 4 properties of ism, and when we came to the capacity, we looked at 5 categories.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember those 5 categories?
Yes.
Okay, one by one. Brother Altaf, what is the first one?
Sorry, sir.
The capacity, we looked at 5 categories, and if the ism falls into those 5 categories, we know that it's marifa by default.
It's a specific.
Capacity is proper noun or common noun, right? But how do we know that which nouns qualify as a marifa based on the category?
Are we going with various isms, 5 type of isms?
Okay.
No.
Anybody else wanna juggle the memory?
Alam, Zamir,
Is it Alam?
Alam, Sister Zahra spoke at the right time. So Alam is one of them. What is Alam?
Alam. Proper noun.
proper noun.
No.
Meaning the name. For example, Zaidun, right? Okay. Khalidun. Right. Okay. What
Zamir,
is the second one?
Zamir,
Isme Ishara.
Me and
pronoun.
number 3 is Meshara. Very good job. Okay.
Ism
So let's
Mawsula,
yes, Ismu Mawsula
Mu'arraf, bil lam.
Maruf and Lam.
and Mu'arraf bilam. So guys, the reason for these grammatical analysis is that at the same time we review our previous concepts so that we don't forget them. That is why I bring them up again and again. So for mubtada, one of our condition is that it's supposed to be marifa, and we know that isme ishara is supposed to be marifa. So now I can knowingly, intelligently say that ulaika is a good candidate for mubtada. Do you guys agree?
Mhm.
Okay. So the people who were not sure before, why did we pick mubtada? because in a Jumla Ismiya, we need to have at least Mubtada and a Khabar. And for that, we have some rules. And anytime we see a word meeting that rule, then that can be a candidate for Mubtada. Okay. Now, for the Khabar, what is our rule? What do we need to look for? Is Mubtada supposed to be Marifa or Nakira?
Nakira.
Nakira. And is it supposed to be Rafa?
Rafa.
Okay. Do you see anything Rafa here? Because if we look at this, we know that Allah is Jar. Yes? Allah is Jar, right? If Allah is Jar, do you think it's a Rafa?
No.
No. What about
No.
Hudan?
Hudan.
Udan is Majroor, Jar.
Majroor.
Jar Majroor. Now, what
Yeah.
do we call Jar Majroor? So if we say Hudan is Majroor, what is another name for Jar Majroor?
It's Jari, or what's the Murakkab Jari?
Murakkab Jari, but we also call it Shibu.
Shubu, yeah.
Shibu Jumla. Okay, good. So keep that in mind. So we know that Allah and Hudan is Jar Majroor, correct?
Yes,
What did we
yes.
talk about? Mir Rabbihim. This min is also
Yeah.
Jar. And then we know that Rabbihim is, first of all, is Mudaf,
Muzaf ilai.
Mudaf ilay.
And
Yeah.
it's Majroor both.
And then it becomes Majroor. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Any questions on this? Yeah. Okay. Sister Noor, any questions on this?
Yes, I'm good.
You follow this? Very good. Sister Zahra,
The one that you said Shubaha Jumla,
Shibu
It's-
Jumla.
you mean alike?
Yes, like a Jumla, right? Because Jar
Okay.
Majroor, another name for Jar Majroor is Shibu Jumla.
Okay.
Okay.
Jazakallah khair.
Yeah. So now there is another rule I want to tell you. We still have not found a Rafa. Did we find anything Rafa yet?
No.
No. Okay. So in that case, what do we need? We also need to know that this is Nakira. Is it Nakira? Alal Huda? So the rule is when a jar majroor follows by a nakara noun, then it can be used as sifa. What is sifa? Quality.
Quality.
Right? So this mir rabbihim, the whole thing is jar majroor, is coming after hudan, which is nakira. So this hudan can be mausuf, and this whole thing can be sifat. You see that point? That this combination here is called mausuf and sifat.
Should it not be other way around, Brother Abid? Like Hudan is Sifat, Min Rabbihim is Mawsuf.
Okay, let's see. Min Rabbihim. Yeah, probably you're right. Let's see if I put sifa here, sifat, and mausuf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mawsuf.
All right. Now we know that in the absence of a khabar, which is rafa, a shibu jumla can be taken as khabar. You remember that? A mutalik shibu jumla jar majroor can be used as the khabar in the absence of a real khabar. Okay, this is the rule. This is not something coming from me, but that is acceptable. Okay, so then it becomes jumla ismiya Khabariya. That's an additional word here. Khabariya means it's giving you some news. So ulaika, those are the people who are on the guidance, and the guidance is from who? From their Lord.
Dear Lord.
See that? So you can say they are on guidance from their Lord, or you can say it like this, that they are on the guidance which is from their
Lord.
To give more credit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah's guidance, or their Lord's guidance is what they are on. So it is kind of highlighting them. And look, this is ulaika. If we wanted to say they, could we have used whom here? Could they, whom is also they, right?
Yeah.
So it could have been,
Ulaika is those.
yeah, ulaika is those, but they all mean right here, right? They, all of them. So in order to highlight them, or to be more, to give them more respect, or to highlight their qualities, there's the ishara you use instead of a hum, zamir. Okay, so that's another point I picked up from the lesson. Okay, I know there's a lot of information in this one small word, but do you guys understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody on the same page as me?
Got it.
Okay, so what is the next word? The next word is
Ulaika.
wow, nice. Okay,
Humul muflihun.
wa ulaika hum muflihuna. Okay. What is wow?
And
And
Yeah.
Ataf.
And
Ataf.
right? So next time also keep in mind that these, you need to know what these things are so that we can put the context there. Did we talk about ulaika already?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, those.
And
Right.
those.
Ismi ishara.
Okay. So you say isme ishara. So in this sentence, can I make it my mubtada again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
مبتدا.
Okay.
الخبر هم المفلحون.
Now look at the humul muflihun. Okay. Is hum a zamir?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I separate these two words, can humul muflihun can become its own sentence?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is hum can be
سمي.
mubtada.
مبتدا.
Yes.
Yes.
And then al muflihun
Khabar.
خبر.
can be the khabar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mubtada plus khabar is
Then
jumla ismiya,
yeah.
and this ulaika is mubtada. Then this jumla ismiya can become
خبر.
Khabar.
khabar. So mubtada khabar, then we have the jumla
جملة
ismiya.
اسمية.
See how we got that?
Right.
Alhamdulillah. Brother Javed,
Yes, sir.
you got that?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So wa ulaika humul muflihun, and these are the one, those are the people who are on the true guidance. Okay. Now let's look at a little bit more detail here. Al muflihun. How did we get to muflihun? What is muflihun? What are you going to call it?
Successful.
Third person singular.
Muflihuna, right? So is it a verb?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a verb.
Yeah.
But do we have an al on a verb?
No.
It's a noun.
Noun. Yeah.
The noun. Okay, so the first thing is one mistake we made, because we are, confusing the muflihuna with the verb. And how is it a noun? That is what I want to explain to you today.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, in order to find this out, we have to go to the Madi pattern. and then we have to go to the mudari pattern. Okay, so in order to find that out, we need to look at the 3 root letters.
Alaha.
3 root letters, right?
Felam.
So this is,
Yeah.
if you remember, so far, all the words we have looked at, yuminuna, yukinuna, yukimuna, they're all from which family? Bab if'al. Okay, so in Bab if'al, I know that the Madi pattern is aflaha, because the root letters are fa, lam, ha. Okay, look at this. If you take out this una and the al and the meme, what are you going to be dealt with? Fa, lam, ha,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so aflaha is the Madi pattern. What is the Mudari pattern?
Yaflaha.
Yuf.
Yuflihu.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what is the Masdar? Masdar is if
Iflahun.
la an or hun, iflahun, if'alun, because we are dealing with Baba ifal. So what did we talked about? That their name is the masdar. Aflaha yuflihu iflahan.
Han, I think should be Fatahatan.
Which one? Okay, so if you want to do the masdar with the nasab,
Oh yeah, we
then
can
it
do
will
that.
become iflahan with the alif, right?
Mm.
Like here, what Sister Noor is saying, and that is okay. Iflahan. Because in Arabic, the masdar is written with the nasab. Okay. Now, do you remember that we talked about that when we are looking for a family, we need to know their members, and the members are the Madi, Mudari, and there is another something called Ismul Fa'il. Okay. Ismul Fa'il for Bab Fa'al is on the pattern of
Mufli. Hong.
Mufli,
Hong.
Muflihun. Okay. Muflihun. Okay. Now, if you are stuck with Muflihun, let me try to explain to you in a different way. Okay. We know that Bab Ifal, one of the word is Islam. Is Bab Ifal and Islam make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Then what will be the Madi pattern?
Aslama.
Aslama yuslimu Islam man, and then what is the file?
Muslim.
Muslimun.
Muslimun. Okay, I'm sure that you have no problem understanding Muslimun because you're familiar with Aslama Yuslimu Islaman. Brother Javed, Brother Kabir.
Yes.
So the pattern of Ismul Fa'il for If'al is Muslimun.
Muslimun.
Now your root letters are Fa, Lam, and Ha. Okay, put that in this one. Meme will stay. Fa, La, Hun, right? Muflihun. Now does it make sense? Muslimun is the person who submits. Aslama, he submitted. Yuslimu, he submits. Islaman, to submit. Muslim is the person who submits. Okay, so if you look at that information in mind, Aflaha means success. Iflahan mean to be successful. So aflaha, he succeed. Yuflihu, he succeed. He's being successful. And then muflih is what?
The
Is the
one who is
person who's successful. So is it a verb or is it a
Noun.
Now.
Yes.
noun? So
No.
now when we said
Must-
al-muflihuna, then we have to look at the gender, the number. Is muflihun singular?
Plural.
Muflihun is singular.
Muflihun, singular. Yeah.
So mufli,
Muflihun is singular.
so mufli hani will be dual, and mufli
Whom.
Una.
una will be
Plural.
plural. And if you have al in with it, that means this is a proper noun,
Noun.
right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking about one person or a group of people?
Many.
So look at this. Ulaika is plural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hum is plural.
Right.
Al-muflihuna is plural.
Plural.
So those, the people we have discussed in the previous verses, they are the successful ones. The translation will be Ulaika, those whom they are the successful one. Because mufle means the successful one singular. Then these will be plural. Do you guys see what I'm trying to teach you here? Or show you?
Abid bhai, I have a question.
Yeah.
Al-muflihun.
Mhm.
Can be a khabar because khabar should be a nakra.
Yes, right. Khabar can be nakra, but there are situations where a khabar can be rafa. There are exceptions. But those are few exceptions, not always. You understand that? We talked about it a long time ago, that yes, khabar typically, generally is supposed to be nakra, but if the khabar cannot be nakra, then it is going to be marifa. No problem. We can accept it as an exception.
So,
Okay.
Brother Abid, I have another question.
Anyway,
So, can we skip whom? We could say wa ulaika al-muflihun.
yes, I was coming to that. You read my mind. So the next point to ponder is why there is a whom in between when we could have skipped it.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is a style of Arabic language that sometime in order to create the ta'keed or stress in the sentence, you are supposed to bring a rafa pronoun. A rafa pronoun which is in line with the mubtada. Okay. So if we look at this, if we say ulaika al-muflihun, then we can always mistake this for something like sifat mawsuf. There is a chance that we could translate this. Those are the successful. Those successful ones, right? But there is no R in there. So whom?
Brother Abid, ulaika could not be sifat.
Yes, but okay, or it can be ishara musharun alay. The same ishara.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
saying those
Yeah.
successful. I made a mistake. So ishara musharun ilay. We can say that those successful.
Murakkab ishari. It could be murakkab ishari.
Right. So in order to distinguish from this doubt, the zamir was introduced here, which was in line with the ulaika, because ulaika is those, and
Those are successful. Right.
yes, and the other concept is, again, as I said, to create the emphasis. We're saying those, they are the successful, to be more stressful in the sentence. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what have we learned today? And everybody was okay on this part, that how I got muflihuna, because I wanted to explain to you. Next time when you see some words like this, which look like a verb, al-muflihuna or muflihuna, then you have to know that this meme here, this meme is the indication of ismul file. Okay. Now remember ism maf'ul, because if there is ism file, then do we have ism maf'ul? Do we have something called ism maf'ul also in the
Yes.
family of any
Yeah.
word family? So then if it's muslimun or muflihun, then the ism maf'ul will be
Lahum.
muflahun. Muflahun. Okay. So remember this. These patterns, they're going to tell you about the ismul file and ismul maf'ul. Now, some other day, I will talk more in detail about ismul file and ismul maf'ul, but I hope that you understand this concept. And for that, we do need to understand these things by heart. I mean, you may like it, you may not like it, but if you really want to be good at the Arabic language, we have to learn aslama yuslimu islaman fahuwa muslimun. And that's the active voice line. Okay.
So, Brother Abed, can we do maybe next time a little practice of this one?
Yes, we will do it. Inshallah, I'll make sure that I'll get you some basic things done.
Yeah. It's just repeating few things, because sometimes these harkas are a little bit confusing, that
Yes.
how we are coming up with this.
Right. So for that, what we do, we have to remember the pattern that we have fa, ain, and lam. Okay. So we know that we are talking about if'al, right? So we need to say if'alun, right? So then the next thing is af, af'ala, yuf, ilu. Okay. And then the word, this is if'alun is the masdar. Okay. And then the ismul file will be mufli u. Okay, mufli u. And then the ismul maf'ul will be muf'alun. Okay. So when you have this list of patterns, if I give you root words, let's say meme, sin, lam, then you are going to say as, lama. Did I write it? No, I think I wrote it wrong. Aslama. Aslama. Yuslimu. Yuslimu. Islaman. If I say Islaman like this, that's the nasab one, or I can do this. Islaman, then Muslimun is the ismul file, and Musliman will be the ismul maf'ul. These are and this is the active voice. Remember the active voice and passive voice? So this is the Saghir chart, like smaller chart. There is, because from Aslama, Yuslimu, how many can you make from Aslama? 14. And from Yuslimu, you can make 14. You know what I'm talking about? Aslama, Aslama, Aslamu, Aslamat, Aslamata, Aslamna. Yes? So those, and if we don't remember them, I mean, I gave you the choice that I don't make it mandatory on you, but in order to fully benefit, we need to have these on our fingertips, and we should be able to say that, you know, in a very quick way. Aslama, Yuslimu, Islaman, Muslimun, Musliman. Got it? Okay. So can we repeat some of these words?
Yes.
Musliman.
Mama.
Okay. Let's do it together one time. Aslama,
Aslama,
Yuslimu,
Muslimu,
Islaman,
Islaman,
Muslimun,
Muslimun,
Musliman,
Musliman,
Muslimun, sorry, Muslamun, Muslamun. So the difference between here is a kasra and there is the fatha. This is the ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul. Okay. Aslama,
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 Yuslimu,
Muslimu,
Muslimu,
Islaman,
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 Muslimun,
Muslimun,
Muslamun.
Muslamun,
Wahuwa Muslimun, Muslim.
Okay. Similarly, aflaha,
Aflaha,
Laha.
yuflihu,
Yuflihu,
iflahan,
Lah.
Lahan,
muflihun,
Muflihun,
muflahun.
Lah.
Muflahun,
Is that clear?
Muflahun.
Alhamdulillah. So, how do you feel about today's class? Are you guys okay? Or you, huh? Tired? Tired. Oh, we had a long day at work today.
Yes.
All right.
No,
No worries.
It's everything.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, you understand the words now, and mashallah, I think we're making good progress. If you understand most of it, then I believe we are still making a lot of progress. So everybody clear on this verse now? Ulaika ala hudam min rabbihim wa ulaika humul muflihun. Now, can I make one point here? How many verses we have covered?
5,
5. Okay, let's look at Surah Al-Ikhlas. Okay. How many people know this surah? Qul huwallahu ahad. One verse, 3, 4. There are 4 verses. And Surah Al-Baqarah, we said, how many verses we looked at?
5.
Now, how many times we read Surah Al-Ikhlas in our salah?
a lot of
Anytime.
Many times. So if you eliminate Alif Lam Mim is considered one ayah, which is not very big at all. So if you look at Zalikal Kitabul La Rayba Fi Hudal Lil Muttaqin Allazina Yu'minuna Bil Ghaibi wa Yuqimuna As-Salata wa Mimma Razaqnahum Yunfikun والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. So technically, we only read 4 verses. Yes? Agree with me?
Yeah.
So as an homework, try it out on your own. It's not, I'm not saying it's mandatory on you, but try to, because now these verses you can memorize in a jiffy. Why? Because not only that you understand the translation, but you are quite intimate these words now. These words will come out of your mouth knowingly and with the extra information you know about it. So on Thursday, I'll ask you, and again, remember, I don't preach anything which I don't practice myself. So Alhamdulillah, I have memorized these words, and sometime when I'm reading, especially my first salah, I try to stay away from the Qul Huwallahu Ahad and try to read from here. The benefit is I can focus more in the salah, because when I'm reading Qul Huwallahu Ahad, it comes out without me even thinking, because I know it from childhood and I'm like 51 right now. So try this exercise. You will feel like $1,000,000. First of all, you will be able to memorize it. I can guarantee you, most of you can memorize this in less than 15 minutes, these 4 verses. You can challenge me. I'll buy you coffee if you don't do that. So everybody up for this challenge?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll use this for
Yeah.
prayer, inshallah.
Okay, and you will be surprised yourself that age has no limit here, and age has nothing to do with it. Inshallah, most of you might already know it. So I know Brother Javed might know it, Brother Kabir, mashallah. All of you are so much dedicated to Quran. So I'm sure, and Brother Abrar, mashallah, is already a Hafiz of Quran. Now, since he is here, Brother Abrar, with your permission, can I share the information with the rest of the class?
Absolutely.
So guys, a request for dua. Brother Abrar's mom is in the hospital with COVID symptoms. That we keep her in our prayer, that may Allah give her the shifa kamila ajila, inshallah.
Ameen.
Ameen. Ameen.
Her and Brother Abrar and all of us in each other's dua, and inshallah, may Allah reward all of you for coming. I know it was hard. Me, it was hard to come today, but we don't want to make the shaitan, a winner over us. So inshallah, we'll always kick his behind. So Brother Abrar, please do the honor. Let's make the dua together. You go ahead and lead it, and we'll say Ameen, and then we'll call it the class tonight.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وأنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا، رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا، رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. اللهم إنا نسألك العلم النافع ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا وشفاء من كل داء. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. آمين آمين.
Inshallah, see you guys on Thursday. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah. Thank you.
Jazakallah khairan.